Hi everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to LinkedIn Live podcast today. We have Thomas, Sunil, Rajiv discussing on the topic of 100x return reimage from developing yourself and your people. Without further ado, we'll bring our speakers on to the podium. Hi Thomas, hi Rajiv, hi Sunil. Welcome to the podcast. Over to
Thank you.
you, Thomas.
Thank you. Hello, Prem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prem.
Okay, welcome to all our listeners. I guess the thing that we have as our top priority always is to take Regenesis, and it is the way in which individual managers, executives, and leaders, and individual organizations can put themselves into a continuous state of beneficial renewal in terms of improving their relationships, improving their wealth, and improving their health, whether that be as an individual or as an organization, in all of those things. And our top task is always to give Regenesis to as many people and as many organizations as possible. And yes, you did hear that right. Our priority task is to give it away. If people need support, they can come back to us and find ways that are fitting to their circumstances, where they can engage in a little bit more activity, a little bit more detail, a little bit more support. So given that's our top priority, what we thought would be really good is to draw your attention to this and say, look, if you want to get a free training in Regenesis, then contact us. We're offering the Regenesis mode to all individuals and organizations who contact us. And the contact mechanism is really simple. You go to my LinkedIn profile and just click on the link, ask for help. And there you can make yourself an initial short appointment where we can find out who you are and whether what we can offer is a good fit for you. And if it is, we'll straight away arrange an hour's free training so that you can get started. We don't need to do that anymore because we're busy with organizations who are committed and individuals who are committed to making the changes that bring real value to their life. And why we call this 100x return reimagined is in the work that we do, we know that probably the most efficient return on investment vehicle that you can use in any organization is development. And of course, putting yourself into Regenesis mode is a development. So today, Prem, Sunil, Rajiv, and myself, we're going to share with you the critical lesson the critical lessons we've learned from our 130 years combined experience as managers, executives, and directors ourselves. And to help you see how putting yourself and your organization into Regenesis mode is the single most valuable action you can take. And what's more, as we said, we'll just give it to you. It maximizes the value of your relationships, your wealth, and your well-being for you as an individual and everyone you and your organization connect with. So that's the setup. And over the next 45 minutes, we'll do our very best to explain to you how this works through 5 stories. Then you'll have the opportunity to book, as I say, a free 1-hour Regenesis mode training session for you and or your organization. If you're a founder and owner and CEO, this could be a great start of a completely different way of thinking that however successful you are already, this will help you do that better and do more of it. So we'll show you exactly how to put your role or your organization into Regenesis mode in that hour. So without further ado, let's dive straight into the stories. And at the end, we'll give you a reminder how to get your own free training. So let's dive in. So story 1 is about individual transformation, clarity and focus. So meet Lavanya, a mid-level manager at a tech firm. Lavanya felt overwhelmed with daily tasks, constantly firefighting instead of focusing on long-term goals. She was drowning in emails and meetings, feeling like she was always putting out fires rather than driving the team forward. When she entered Regenesis mode, we helped her gain clarity on her long-term vision and break it down into actionable steps. Prem, do you want to take the story on from there?
Yes, Thomas. Lavanya started her journey and we defined some of the core values and started to align them based on the career role that she was performing and also map their goals to what she was performing. And this made her realize some of the passions for innovation and she being getting stuck in the daily activities of administrative tasks. Okay, we worked out and started to jot down some of the things with Lavanya, and we tried to make sure that the kind of prioritization that she was looking at from a strategic point has been matched, and we also listed out which are the non essential tasks which needs to be moved out or delegated to people to align her vision for a better performance. That's how we started giving Lavanya the path to look at how core values can be aligned to them with her career goals, Thomas. So that's how we brought Lavanya there onto it. Over to you, Thomas.
Yes, indeed, that is how the story started. And what we saw was within weeks,
Yeah.
Lavanya reported feeling much more focused and, of course, less stressed because instead of feeling like she was batting her head against a wall, she genuinely began to see that there was some progress. These small changes that had made a really big difference. Her productivity began to soar as she began to see the bigger picture and how her daily actions contributed to the longer term success, not only of her team and the organization, but of her goals as well. And it's because that early work had aligned the two that she was able to feel so much more successful. I think in some circles, it's called she felt she had self agency. In other words, she felt she had some control over her life and her career and the work that she did, and it made her feel much better. And I would say her story is a real testament of how clarity and clarity on focus on goals, your goals, the organization's goals, and doing the thinking to dovetail it all together can really transform your professional life. But more importantly, somehow it seems to catalyze a whole raft of really valuable changes that start to add together and give you this kind of 100x return. So for a small effort on a small thing, Lavanya got huge benefits, and so did her organization. And we wait to see how that affects the rest of her career. It feels like at this point that it's really unlocked her potential. So we look forward to seeing how far she can go and how much she can contribute in the coming years. So let's move on to story two. Sunil, can you take up the reins here?
Yeah, thank you, Thomas. Basically, the second story we want to discuss here, that is organizational transformation and how the organization get transformed with the help of high performing teams. We all know that team is very, very important for the organization. If an organization is having very good product, very quality service, and then also if there is some issue in the team, it's very difficult to perform. It's very difficult to get the final objective. And we at Regenesis had a proven model to help the organization in developing high performing team. I'm sharing one of the example here where one of our client who was a leading MNC. So you can understand his product was out of the world, very good product, but there was misalignment of the team. There was some issue within the team. Team was working in the silos. The communication was poor. The collaboration was almost non-existent. So what was the result of that? The result of that was the organization was not performing. The projects were delayed, and employee morale was very, very low. So that was one of the example we have seen, we have demonstrated our Regenesis model and transformed the organization.
Okay, Sunil, how did Regenesis Mode help this organization build high-performing teams?
Uh, Thomas, at Regenesis, we always go a step by step. We don't jump and apply the solution. So we always believe that, there is a process, so we have to follow that process. In this particular case, I will say that there are two, three steps of process. The first step was, of course, we need to understand the region of this downfall. We need to understand what is happening there, because as we have discussed, the organization was MNC, multinational company, working in a lot of countries, and not less than 10 to 12 countries, and their product was world class product, but still they were not performing well in India. So our first job was to find out the reason behind this. So what we have done, we have taken three steps. Number one, we have spoken to all the stakeholders separately as well as in team. What we have done, we have identified the problem after talking to them. And what we found, that team was working in silos. There was a communication gap. The communication within the team was very poor. There was no alignment among team. So the team was not working for one common objective. There was lack of trust. You can understand. There was lack of trust among the employees, cross-functional teams. And what was the result of that? The result of that was the organization was in very, very bad shape. So the CEO of the organization has contacted us. So what we have done, we have given the right solution for that. So we have introduced a strategic team building exercise with an objective to improve interpersonal relationship and foster the collaborative spirit among the team members. And believe me, that has helped to again realign the team, improve the interpersonal relationship within the team members, and and the rest is the history. So they have again, they were not on the road. So again, they have come on the road. They have started performing, and that was a demonstrated model. I am proud to say here.
Okay, that's great, Sunil. I'm sure our listeners can see how that simple action would have started to make a really big change. But beyond that, what specific steps did you take to enhance team performance?
Yes, very good question, Thomas. We have taken basically the four specific steps. Number one, we have done the workshop to develop the emotional intelligence. And when we call this emotional intelligence, we all should understand that we all are human. So it is very, very important that we are emotionally connected, and we have to touch upon that thing when something bad is going on. So what we have done, we have developed this workshop into emotional intelligence workshop. So there were four exercises in that. The first one was, of course, self-awareness, then self-discipline, then social awareness, and then social management. So what this exercise has brought it, that this exercise has brought the empathy, to the empathy building exercise. So when this empathy building exercise had happened, then there was a role play. So every people in the team, they understood that what exactly they're doing, what is the gap among the team members. So when you're putting yourself in others' shoes, then that point of time you understand that this is not his fault. This is not my fault. This is the team fault. And we have to, everybody understand that I have to play a role here. So that was the first thing we have done. Then we have done the workshop for the communication skill. So that was the second workshop. The third, we have done the team building activities, and that was on the regular basis. The fourth thing we have done, that we have created opportunity for cross-functional projects. So when we have done these three or four steps, four activities, the result of those activities was the improved communication. They have helped in building the trust among the team members. Team members have started believing on each other. Team has started working more cohesively, and productivity has improved. So we always say that high performing teams are the backbone of a successful organization. And I will urge here to all the listeners, thought here that if any of you are going through this phase, this type of situation, please don't hesitate to contact us. We are here, and we are here, and we have proven, demonstrated model to overcome this type of situation. So we will not only handhold you, we will work with you as a partner, and we will ensure that you succeed in your journey. Because when we handhold, we are not here to give some type of suggestions, some types of tips. We handhold, and we ensure that you perform during this course of time.
That's great. Thank you, Sunil. Um, yeah, what a great story, eh? So let's have another. Story three. Rajiv, over to you, my friend.
Thank you, Thomas. So this story is again very interesting as our previous two stories. So this is all about the goal alignment because if your goals are not aligned, you tend to go haywire and you are not actually clear about the direction in which you have to go. And it's the movement becomes more systematic the moment you follow the regenesis process, proven process of goal alignment. So this story goes back to Raj, my kind of a namesake, who was an executive at a manufacturing company. So Raj was frustrated because his personal goals didn't align with the professional responsibilities. So he felt stuck in a role that didn't fulfill his personal aspirations because he was very passionate about rising in the ladder very fast. So this led to lack of motivation and job satisfaction for Raj. So this story is all about how his goals were aligned and how we actually worked with Raj to make sure that he stays motivated and achieves his goals.
Uh, Rajiv ji, can you little bit elaborate that how did the regenesis model help Raj to align his personal and professional goals?
Yeah, this is a very, very important question, Sunil. See, everybody has a personal and professional goals, and those goals are not always aligned because it is very, very important that both these goals should not be in different directions, first of all, and we must bring them into one direction. So we started understanding Raj's personal values and aspirations. So the first step, of course, always is to understand the personal aspirations, what any person has. And Raj had a strong passion, for sustainability and innovation. So he was always thinking how I can innovate in my job, how I can, you know, achieve more, how I can try new things. And that was not reflected in his current role, which he was having in the organization. So, by entering into Regenesis mode, we helped Raj identify opportunities within his company where he could apply his passion and strength, and he can utilize his uh, those goals which and make them aligned with his personal aspirations. So we kind of helped him navigate through the opportunities which were there already existing in his profile, and helped him identify those and turned his passions into uh, a reality, and that really motivated him.
Rajiv, what changes did Raj make to align his goals?
So this is again a very good case study, and we keep on talking about it in our other sessions as well. See, what Raj did was by taking on a project that focused on developing a sustainable manufacturing process. So I always, tell the mentees I work with that you have to find the opportunity within your organization. Don't wait for the projects to come to you. you design and have projects worked out for you within the organization, and every organization is looking for some bigger opportunities, but then you have to actually suggest that to your organization. So Raj was smart enough to identify that opportunity, for developing a sustainable manufacturing process, and that actually aligned with his passion for innovation. And this gave his personal values, but also provided immense value to the company. So his passion and his quest for innovation was taken care, and we also helped him create a development plan that catered to his strengths and aspirations. So he started working towards the professional goals in a more structured way by working on a structured plan. So, as a result, his satisfaction with his job increased dramatically, and he became a more engaged and motivated leader. And also, alignment of personal and professional goals led to a very big satisfaction for him. And this I have seen with all the people I work with, that once you have your goals, professional goals and personal goals well aligned, so your job becomes a pleasure for you, and you have a very much high level of satisfaction and motivation, and that leads to retention of people. So this is a message for all the leaders listening to us, that always try to see and visualize the passion of your team members, and try and give them that opportunity for which they are very passionate about, so that they always remain aligned and motivated, and always achieve their goals. Back to you, Sunil.
Absolutely. Thank you, Rajiv. That was a great story. And I think what implicit in this that we talked about so many times is so many people are silently begging to be allowed to contribute more. They have great ideas and they want to be valued to their employers, and they want to do well. They want the organization to do well because everybody loves to be part of the success. And a little bit, Regenesis takes this notion and makes the most of it, as you're hearing in these stories. So let's move on to story 4. And this is, again, an organizational transformation. And this is about continuous innovation. You'll see in our stories here, innovation features large because development is always about doing something in a new way or in an innovative way or bringing a new idea. That's what development is all about, is teaching you a way to do something better or more or faster or leaner or something. And all of that always has value. And this is where the gearing, this 100x return reimagined, that's why we've said this. In our book, development is the most valuable asset a company can use because it's without limit. It's not constrained by the market. It's not constrained by anything other than human imagination. And it's amazing what a small group of people can achieve when they all work together. So let's tackle this story. This is a mid-sized company in the renewable energy sector. They were facing, as all do in this sector, really stiff competition and needed a way to stand out. The company was innovative in many ways, that's why it was in the sector, but it was also somewhat traditionally risk averse. And that tended to put a little bit of a dampener. So allowing some, I guess, development in allowed them to gradually shift the position without missteps, without making big mistakes in their growth plan. They were able to go quietly and grow organically. And that's really important. And they did that by quietly and progressively entering regenesis mode over a period of months. They embraced a culture of continuous innovation at all levels, from all directions, and it just made a whole new creative environment.
So, Thomas, I think this is very interesting story. So, I would like to know that how Regenesis would encourage continuous innovation within this company.
Okay, well, it's always the same kind of story. We always start where we've been talking such a lot today, which is starting with the individuals, particularly the managers and leaders, and sorting out their goals, their values, and what they feel and think is important, not only for the company, but also for themselves. And they figure out how, by doing things that create value for the company, they begin to make it possible to let all sorts of things happen that they personally would like doing better, like earning more money, like, all the things that most individuals care about. And the company stays pleased because they're growing, they're creating more revenue, they're creating more profit. So there's like a virtuous circle gets started when you begin to do this type of thinking. And as you say, we've had in some of the stories, then do some team building, and then do whatever you need to do to unlock the potential of the individuals in the team, and then unlock the innovation. And that's where the real work starts. So it's creating that kind of environment where every idea was valued and explored. And that includes setting up a bit of an innovation hub in every team. This is where we give people a simple mechanism to encourage the ideas, and then almost triage the ideas to let the individual identify whether the idea has got real potential. So let them do a bit more work on it, show them how to do that work skillfully, kind of bring some critical thinking to the subject, and then they will self-identify whether the project has got real potential or whether actually it's a fancy idea, really good, very creative, but actually it doesn't have real application at the time. Because it's not a problem. They get acknowledged and kind of appreciated for bringing forward the idea. But of course, the human mind is full of next ideas. Just, okay, that one didn't work out, but what else can you think of? So, you're the people that know the company, so go and do that. And then as ideas get kind of triaged in this way, if one has got potential, you can then commission further study. You can get a group of colleague employees working together. You can again give them a simple process that they can use to evaluate what they're thinking and look at its potential and practicality.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So, Thomas, can you share some specific instances of this approach which leads to innovation? Because I'm sure with your experience with the Regenesis and how it is impacting the lives of people, how exactly this actually changed the company's overall approach. So, can you just share that?
Sure, sure. And in this very company, in fact, one very junior employee suggested what seemed at the time like a really wacky, novel approach to energy storage. But actually, normally this idea earlier in their kind of evolution as an organization, when they were somewhat conservative and reserved, they probably would have just dismissed the idea out of hand due to without thinking too much about it, the perceived risks. However, when they were in Regenesis mode, they just asked that same employee, the same junior employee, and then a couple of junior employees with a more junior manager, they actually did some more thinking about it. They did a little pilot project to explore its feasibility. And in fact, it was a breakthrough in energy storage and significantly boosted the company's market position because it was such a great idea. It was so simple. And as soon as people saw it, they said, oh, yes, it's wonderful that somebody's taken the time. And of course, they had a lead. They didn't necessarily keep that forever, but they were the first to innovate with that particular simple, powerful, practical solution. And it allowed them to really create a name for themselves in their own kind of market in the kind of energy sector, which of course is very crowded and busy. And it's just one little example of how just one person's idea can have real potential and can give the whole organization a new and very valuable competitive advantage. And continuous innovation can truly drive the company forward. So, really important stories. We've got one more, which is story 5. Sunil, I think this one belongs to you.
Yeah, thank you, Thomas. I think the next story we want to take that is again the organizational transformation, and this is more interesting, I will say, because sometimes the growth is always good, but sometimes managing the growth is a problem, and if you are not managing well, that is not good for the organization. So, I will say that in the today's world where we are living in a very lively and challenging business environment. And this is not an environment when we said that, okay, this organization is all set, we are having system and process, good quality product, and we will survive in the market. No, this is not the truth. Your organization has to transform every day, every year. This is the requirement of this business environment. And this is the requirement. I always repeat this line. This is the requirement not for the growth, this is the requirement for the survival. In order to be relevant in the market, in order to counter the rapid change of technology, in order to meet the customer expectation, in order to counter the aggressive competition in the market. So this is the requirement at this hour. So every organization has to transform and they should be ready for that transformation. I always say ready for this transformation because these things is going to happen each and every day. The days have gone when people will thinking that this is established organization, this is having set process, nobody can touch them. No, we have seen the example. Big organization has got vanished in few years. They are not surviving in the market. So I will say this is an era where there are a lot of opportunity. We are living in a global village, but at the same time, this is a challenging environment also. This fosters the challenge among us, and this is a challenge for the business owner. This is the challenge for CEOs. Their mindset need to be, they have always they have to always think innovative. They should be always prepared for those type of weather, those type of situations. So that is the requirement of the time. As far as transformation is concerned, there are various types of transformation requires, and each transformation has different approach. There is no set approach. So let us talk a case of organization transformation when the organization was growing because there were lot of opportunity in the market, so growth was good. But growth is good, but excessive and unplanned fosters lot of challenge to the organization. So the case was the organization was growing very fast, but the organization was not ready for that. So I repeat again, the growth is good, but excessive and unplanned growth fosters lot of challenges. Challenges like quality problem, the challenges like financial issues, the challenges in that type of situation sometimes happens that organization even dilute their culture, their brand, their value proposition. And in fact, all growth creates this type of risk and that needs to be managed. So I would like to share here one example of one of the client was a global trading company, big company, experiencing rapid growth because as I have told that we are living in a global village. So opportunities are across the boundary. You can if you are having the good product, if you are having the 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 proven product, so market is huge. So what has happened with this organization that they were growing very fast, they were having lot of opportunities, but that they were not ready for that. So they were unable to manage that growth. So due to that, what has happened, they were facing numerous financial missteps, inefficiencies, operational issues. So they were expanding too quickly without a structure plan, and that was causing lot of issues. And we that client has approached to us, and we have handhold them, we have helped them in coming out from that situation and turned those opportunities in their field.
Uh, Sunil, you spoke about chaos and the operational stuff, the rapid growth on what is happening in organization, and the plan was what I think was not structured, is what you were discussing about.
Yeah,
Now,
that
looking at the achievement or the organization planned growth, how can Regenesis mode help the organization achieve planned growth where you have an unplanned structure that is leading to chaos and financial strain?
Yeah, very good question, Prem. Very good question. So that is the reason we say that sometimes, when growth also comes and you have not planned for that, so that is not good for the organization also. So planning is very, very important. So this particular client, when they have got this growth opportunity, they have not planned for that. Organization was not prepared for that. So what we have done, we have implemented three steps. Number one, we have planned the phased growth strategy. So one point of time, suppose the whole world is our client, whole world is the opportunity. This doesn't mean that go and start doing everything.
Yeah.
This is not a good move at all, because you have to understand that market. You have to understand what are the financial structure of that market, how what will happen, what are the legal issues in those markets. So the organization has to prepare all those things. So first important things we have done, that we have developed a strategy that was the phased growth strategy. But in good part is, so we have aggressively gone in the market where we are prepared, where we know each and everything. So we have gone very aggressive. We have captured that market. Simultaneously, we have developed a team who are working for other market where opportunities are there, but we are not ready for that. So that is the second thing we have done. The third important things we have done, regular reviews and adjustment. When you're growing very fast, there are a lot of things happens which requires management attention and lot of decisions. So you can't go and you can't say the business unit head that this is your baby. No, the leadership team has to develop a regular review the strategy. They have to sit with with the team. They need to understand what are the things happening in those markets and what are the corrective action need to be taken. So this is a very, very lively environment, and the involvement of all the stakeholders is very, very important. So that is very, very important. The fourth thing we have done, we have involved every manager in their financial planning and resource allocation. How that has helped? That has given the sense of ownership to all the managers. And whatever systems we have developed, that has given and that has ensured the sustainable growth. That was not a growth which was basically, we were thinking that, okay, this will happen tomorrow, we don't know what will happen. So this is not like that. We have done in such a way so organization had prepared themselves that yes, this is the way we can do it. And simultaneously, we have developed a team. So there are four, five, six teams, and we have keep adding that so that the global opportunities are available. You can tap them, and every market is basically business center. So we have developed a business unit head responsible for different market. So there are internal healthy competition also. Every business unit head is responsible for P&L. Every business unit head is knowing each and every aspect of that market in which they operate. So we have prepared the organization in such a way that in one state, they know that what is happening in their market. They are knowing what are the financial implication of those market. They are knowing what are the legal things in those market. And once they have done all those things, then that, I will say, that growth was basically sustainable growth. That growth was manageable growth. That growth was the real growth when you are ready to capture those market. We have not done in a way when you are not ready and you are trying to do a lot of things. So these things have helped the organization. And I urge the listener here that any of you facing this organizational transformation issues due to any of the region, to manage the growth, to develop a culture, to manage the change management, to imbibe the innovation within the organization, because these are the changes required in today's time. And I have said before, as I have said before, this is not a time that whatever systems you have developed, that is going to take you through. Every day you will find a new challenge, because you have to survive in the market, because you have to face those innovations, those technological development happening in your area, those competitive aggressiveness you have to face, those expectations of customer is changing every day. So you have to prepare your organization to face those challenges and deal those issues. And please do contact us. We are here to support in your journey.
So we've listed out the contact points on the scroll that is happening, where you can reach Sunil, Rajiv, Thomas, and myself to have a chat on how this approach can be done. Sunil, one pointer that I would like to understand. There are a lot of pointers that we put across as this one. How do you measure, or what were the results of this approach that we have achieved? Is what we would like to understand from you on this Regenesis system. Uh,
Yeah, whatever things we are talking today, fortunately, each and everything is measurable. We are not talking in the air. We are not talking in the theory. Suppose you have to manage the finances. Suppose you have to manage this growth journey. So that the once upon a time, that when the organization has gone and the organization has started growing and they were not prepared for that. So there was issue that you are in financial issues. Your outstanding are huge in the market. You are unable to understand the legal issues of the new market. You are unable to manage those market. You are unable to send your material on time to the customer. So in spite of the fact that you are having good quality product, then also customer has started believing that, okay, this is not a good organization. So the measurement of this is very, very clear, that when you adopt this methodology, the number one, your top line is growing. Number two, your bottom line is growing. Number three, your outstanding in the market is negligible level, maximum possible, minimum possible level. So these are the pointers which help the organization to measure those things and the effectiveness of this model.
That's great. Thank you, Sunil. And I think what we're saying is taking on Regenesis mode is the opening of the doors of possibility in so many other ways than perhaps you're using at the moment. And even companies that are doing really well, when they take on Regenesis mode, they find yet more things that can really help them lighten the load of the workload internally, improve their finances, improve the efficiency and the quality of their operation, their products, their services. So this systematic approach minimizes errors and reduces the setbacks. And it really helps companies scale conclusively, really, and keep going ad infinitum. So the conclusion we've got here from these stories is just the transformative power of Regenesis mode. And we're ready to work with companies that have already made their own start. We don't need to do the basic training. We will give you the Regenesis mode for free. We'll just give it to you. We'll show you exactly what it is, how to use it over the year. And then as you get yourself started, then of course you'll have questions. Then it's time to tap into a little bit of support, whether you're an individual manager taking it on and putting your role into Regenesis mode, or whether you're an organization trying to really optimize all the aspects of operation of your much loved and hopefully highly esteemed organization. But nonetheless, wherever you are, it's a great start. So do contact us. We've tried to make it as simple as possible. The advantage of coming to my profile is that you'll be able to book an appointment, but you can equally go to Rajiv's profile, or you can go to Sunil's profile, all the details of the profile, or Prem's profile, and contact any of us, and we'll find a way to connect you to one of us to start the conversation. And then once you're started, you can always come back later and we can talk some more if you want to go faster, or if you want to do something highly structured from the start. All these things are possible, whatever your role in your organization. So as I said before, visit my LinkedIn page. It's the Thomas Welsh at LinkedIn, and click on the Ask for Help link to book a session. We'll share the sessions out between us as best we can. But as I say, if that calendar gets full in the next 7 days, do reach out to Rajiv or Sunil or Prem, and they will add some more appointments in. We'll find a way to talk with you. So I guess it's an invitation, really. This simple change, just let us give you Regenesis mode. You can make a start, and it begins to transform your future and unlock that 100x return in your relationships, your wealth as an individual and in your company, and the well-being and health of all of that organization. And it goes wider than that. The more we work together on this, the more we can make a better future for the world. That's our ultimate mission. And we need people like you who care about the future, care about your future, your family's future, your organization's future, to make contact. Let's give you the Regenesis mode and let you make a start. Then we can all work together more as we go forward. So from our point of view, first of all, may I thank my colleagues for those lovely stories. They were absolutely fantastic examples of how all this works, and perhaps the clearest we've ever put out. And thank you to our audience for listening. And yeah, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. It was a session that we discussed about 5 stories that we were talking about and how an organization can be looked at and brought into an 100x return reimage for developing yourself and your people in the organization. Thank you for joining us on LinkedIn Live today. Please do follow us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We hope that this discussion was valuable, and our next podcast is on a new topic exploring career opportunity beyond big MNCs and brands on the 18th of July 2024 at 6:30 p.m. Looking forward to see you all again. For now, bye for now, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Prem.
Thank you, Prem.